Alrighty guys, welcome back to the Ironman. Last episode we ended on the bad ending, unfortunately, and it looks like the start of this one isn't too much different. I tried being cute with the bowfer and the shield and flicking the two whilst killing the knights. Turns out that drains your agility level and I have to go the long way around to get my next task. A bit of a run of shame, so to speak, but we're currently sitting around 800 Basilisk kills, and for a 1 in 1000 drop, we're getting towards the dry kind of kill count, and I'm hoping it isn't too bad. But out of all the monsters to be dry on, I guess it's not the worst. I've got myself over 600 new prayer pots that I've created over the last week or so, which is nice. And I've come to a conclusion that I didn't realize was a thing, is that these d'hide body and legs, I thought these outclassed the crystal for sure, but what I've come to realize is that not only is the range bonus higher on the crystal, the prayer bonus is as well. So next time I get myself a basilisk task, I know at least not to wear the d'hide anymore. I actually don't know what to use that for at all. I kind of just thought crystal and bowfer went together and it wasn't actually useful for anything else. Turns out that is not the case. But anyway, I'm going to go restore my stats, get this greater demon task complete, and then hopefully get myself another basilisk task before too long. This is the final basilisk of a task. This one was interesting. We haven't quite hit the 1000, but we're getting close to it. We did, however, get a 1 in 1000 drop, and technically, I guess a jaw is part of a head, but unfortunately, a technicality is not going to enable me to upgrade my Need to Not helmet, so the search continues. The journey never seems to end. Another basilisk task in the bin. I had a lot of enthusiasm when I started killing the basilisks, however, my enthusiasm is beginning to wane. Fortunately, they're not the only monsters I'm able to kill, and the Abyssal Demon's Superior baited me a little bit there. If I see like a mega expensive drop on the ground after a Superior has died, I instantly get like a heart rate spike, and I mean, a whip is great and everything, but it's no imbued heart. This little experience here, I noticed this guy's username. It was Big Bad Bats, and if you pay attention, he's getting fisted by a bunch of them. I just thought that was interesting. So in the end, he got the superior kill. And when I come here to use range, I generally bring a bunch of Karambwans that I don't end up using. So they actually came in clutch for him. So I gave him my leftover food supplies. And it turns out that he himself got an internal gem from that fight. So had he not stuck it out, he would not have been rewarded. It's always nice to run into random legends like that. It's kind of like running into someone on public transport, having a D&M and then never seeing them again in your life. But something that isn't entirely deep is the fact that we just hit a Slayer level, which is nice. Getting a little bit worried, man. We got one more level to go and no imbued heart to our name. I don't want to be one of those people that go 50 mil EXP, Slayer XP, dry before we get one, but considering I've never had the cape before, I'm actually quite eagerly awaiting the 99, so here's to one more Slayer level. I don't mind being down here in the Myths Guild. I have like kind of a goal. If I don't get myself a Draconic Visage, I think one of these days I'll just camp down here with my bowfer, kill off some black dragons and get myself some prayer experience, and who knows, maybe go for the Visage. But in the meantime, we are here for business only. 98 attack. I'm so surprised my Slayer level is higher than my attack level. That's ridiculous. I guess because I've been doing so much ranging and maging, it's left the combats dead and buried in the XP department. But if we stick to it, I think it'll be well and truly a landslide. We'll get 99 attack before the Slayer, but we'll see what happens. I'm open to being surprised. Oh, also, let's conveniently ignore the fact that I forgot to bring my Arceus spellbook. Moving right along. As much as I want to move along, I've changed my spellbook, but I forgot my rune pouch. This just never ends. Now, I thought you could animate the heads around here, but apparently not. I'm curious to see if the heads you receive here can be animated, but the ones you bring from the bank can't. Huh. Look, that might be common knowledge, but Jesus Christ, I had no idea. So now I've just got 10 heads in my inventory. This is the last clip I'm going to record down here, I swear to God. I got another occult necklace. Wow. Alrighty, upon the completion of this basilisk, that word is getting harder and harder to say. This will mark the 1000 kill threshold being well and truly established. We now are in official dry territory. I'm very scared for the future. I'm hoping we get this jaw before too long because my Nezi helm is just looking a bit naked. But I think I'm going to grab another Slayer task. 169 gargoyles. I don't think I'm really in the mood for that. Might switch it up, see what we get. What's it gonna be? Black dragons, I guess we can tolerate this, but I think what I would like to do is make a bit of a pivot. I've noticed that I've been a bit of a pussy when it comes to Araxxor, and I want to fix that. My Herblore is only 77, and the ability to kill Araxxor, in my mind, is locked behind the ability to drink an anti-venom potion. So for that, I'll need to get myself 87 Herblore. I think technically with a pie, I might be able to stretch that down to as low as 83. So gonna definitely have a strong pivot in gameplay. My plan is to get engaged with the Mixology minigame, but before I do that, I need to go and empty out my kingdom because that has been accruing herbs for many, many moons. So I'm excited to see what's actually in my stash. I want to see that final haul from the miscellanea tab. I don't always keep it at 100%, but I'm very keen to see what it looks like. And hopefully the herbs that I get from both my bank and also miscellanea will contribute heavily towards getting at least 83 so we can pot up to get that 87 Herblore. But yeah, that's the gameplay plan for now. Hopefully Araxxor will die in the near future. Just finished cleaning up the herbs in my bank and decided to come across to the kingdom. Once again, I needed to top it up to 100%. This always takes quite a while. I'm always surprised by how long it actually requires me to chop a tree for, but we've capped it out. It's time to go collect our goodies. It has been in excess of a couple of months, I believe, so whatever is on the other end of this haul should be relatively decent, at least for Herblore experience. We're a little under 25k experience to level 78, so I think no matter what we get here, we're pretty much guaranteed to fulfill that final level, but anything other than that will probably come down to mixing Mixology or any potions that I decide to make. One thing about mixing Mixology is that it requires 81 Herblore to get the most out of, so I'm a little apprehensive to kind of even do the minigame, but I think like, in terms of XP per herb, it's no matter what going to be the best place to go. And even though it kind of hurts me a little bit on the inside, I think it's going to be the best strategy overall. But we'll top up the kingdom once again. Got herbs maxed out and mahogany logs sitting there in reserve. Let's find out what a couple months worth of waiting has gotten me. There is an absolute boatload of things for me to clean, so I'm looking forward to the experience. However, my wrist probably is not. Also, those mahogany logs will definitely come in handy for the construction grinds. I don't know how far that will get me, but sitting currently at 70-ish construction, I can't even remember, 71 probably, that will get me a lot of experience. I'm just really not in the mood to turn those into planks anytime soon. But the herbs, that's the main thing. That is the star of the show, and we've got quite a few stars twinkling nice and brightly in that little screen there. It's kind of insane that you can just kind of get these passively, but hey, I'm not complaining. But turns out 28.2k is the amount of experience we need to the level, but regardless, 25k, 28k, who cares? There is enough herbs in that final resource collected tab to last me, definitely. I think there's probably upwards of 100k experience there, so let's get started, let's get these processed. It's just kind of hitting me how many herbs that actually was. It's like psychologically not hitting me, but like physically in my wrist hitting me. But there is 78 Herblore complete. I don't know if that unlocks anything in particular that I'm kind of keen on unlocking, but regardless, we'll get ourselves the Zaradomin brew. The Zamarok brew unlock, but yeah, a lot of experience banked here. I'm not too sure if I really want to clean everything that I have, like Marintals, Taramin, etc. All those low level herbs, they kind of feel awful. The amount of experience you get per click just isn't great, but with that said, this skill sucks donkey dick to kind of train, so I kind of need to squeeze out all the juice I possibly can get from all of these herbs. So I think begrudgingly I'll end up cleaning them all. I don't know. My enthusiasm to do so isn't exactly at an all-time high, but regardless, needs to be done, so we shall get it done indeed. And once they're all finished, I think it's time we head off to mixing Mixology. Wait, you have to do it manually? Oh my, this is gonna take forever. That indeed did take forever, but inevitably we got ourselves the experience we were looking for, starting off strong with level 79. I followed a guide to figure out how much paste I ended up needing, so that came in handy. I'll try and remember to link that in the description, but there is 80 Herblore for the time being, plenty more to come. Ever since I've started doing mixing Mixology, I've been pretty religious with doing my herb runs. I've never done so many farm runs in my life, but I'm just kind of chilling at the farm run. I've got about 3 minutes until my herb patch is fully grown, and I thought I'll do some fletching at the bank. As a result, we're going to get ourselves a cheeky little fletching level. It's been a while since I've got one of these. There's 93 coming through. I don't think fletching is going to be high on the priority list, and it's something that I'll probably just passively obtain with like magic log drops from monsters. So with all these bowstrings that I have, who knows, maybe 99 fletching can be like a long-term project that I slowly burn away at. And in other news, I'm pretty close to getting myself 81 Herblore. I'm actually quite excited to get that because that is the level that you unlock Mixology Mixolots. That's what they're called. A combination of MAL that gives you a bunch of bonus points. So my Herblore XP up until this point is about 60 to 65k an hour. Depends on how much attention I'm paying, and full disclosure, I'm not paying a whole lot. And it actually feels really slow, like this, even though I'm getting levels back to back in clips, it does not feel like this is a fun or quick experience. I'm kind of just slogging it out and kind of just gritting my teeth through it. So I probably have in upwards of 10 hours of mastering Mixology to do, but it will be nice to get 81 so we can increase the XP rates that we get. But before we do that, it is now time to do a herb run. This is probably a little bit of a red flag, but I felt like editing a video more than I did doing mastering Mixology. As a result, we've got ourselves a few different cooking levels. I believe it's 3 to be precise, but the nice little milestone of 90 has been achieved. I cannot allow myself to procrastinate mastering Mixology any further, but before I do that, I'm going to do myself another herb run. That's the last bastion that I have before I have to get back into the den. I'm now back in the den. This is such a great place to be. This refiner creates the most annoying sound effect ever. I actually like the sounds like inside the Mixology game itself, but this thing is just super annoying. Like, it's muted for you guys, but if you have it in game and you want somewhere to annoy you while you bank stand, this is the place to do it. So on a side note, we've got ourselves all that we require to get to 81 Herblore. All we need is that one little super strength pot, and now we can make our Mixolots. Generally, the kind of milestone we're achieving right now and celebrating is the fact that we can make sour brews. That's also great, but my main focus is the Mixolots over in the room next to me. So the current paste standings are as follows. I'm not too sure how many we'll have remaining, but as soon as I run out of paste entirely, or I'm not going to make any more of any color, so once I run out, I'm out. So hopefully that'll get us to 83 herb, 84, or anything higher than that. We'll see what happens. Ideally, the closer we get to 87, the better, and as long as it's 83, I will be satisfied. Taking a little break from mixing Mixology, mixing it up with a bit of agility. There is 80 coming in hot. Can now do Relica. I don't know what these dungeon spikes are, but I'll never have to worry about dodging them again. When it comes to training agility, I honestly don't really have a favorite method. I kind of just do whatever. Pref seems to be the least like clicks per minute, so I kind of like it. But I think when I get to 82, I might try out the, what's it called again? It's not Temperos, it's, fuck. Dude, it took me half a lap to figure out it was called Hello Sepulchre. That's insane. Anyway, that just goes to show you how foreign agility training is to me. So when I get to 82, I'll give that a crack, but for now, I don't mind chilling, doing a bit of pref here and there. But anyway, that's one less 80 to get, only one more to go, that being construction. And as soon as I put the foot down for that one, I think we should be able to get it pretty quickly. As much as I enjoy running laps at Pref, it is time to get back into the pit. There is 82 Herblore coming in. We spent many hours in this place. Kind of growing on me a little bit, not gonna lie, but probably my favorite moment was here where I got 3 Mixolots in a single order. I've only gotten that once, and I've documented it, so it's proof that it can happen. It's just very rare. But all in all, 83 and 84 Herb has been accomplished. It is time to move on. And just like that, 15 to 20 hours later, I have no idea how long I've been here, it is done. I'm now down to 0 lie. Got a few more of the others, but that's okay. I think we shall be good to go. This will be my final little session. Hopefully a digweed does not spawn. I think we're good. But it looks like we get another MAL when we return. That plugin is so good, man. Seeing that like color coordination for the Mixolot, oh, just hits right. Anyway, I think it's about time we buy some rewards. I've also been doing farm runs religiously whilst doing this endeavor, and as a result, I've replenished quite a few herbs. I've got, wow, I haven't even looked at this, over 2,000 quorms and over 1,000 arena weeds. I need to get this clip fully completed before I get logged out, but the main priority right now will be to buy some of these upgrades. I'm going to skip the cosmetics because who has time for that? I think I can afford to get absolutely everything in the shop with all of this. I just got to make sure to do this correctly, so I will be right back. I think we'll start things off with the prescription goggles. 10% chance to save your secondary ingredient will definitely come in handy. Let's buy one of those. Boom. Next up is the Regent pouch. This one allows us to store secondaries in a log basket-esque sort of thing. You get to make twice as many potions with an inventory, I believe. Don't mind if I do. Now the chugging barrel. This one allows you to drink multiple potions in a single game tick. I'm going to skip this for now. This is one of the most expensive things, and I can't honestly think of a situation in which I will use it. Like, this cost is so high to save a couple game ticks. I might buy it later on, but for now it can stay there. The main thing I'm interested in, first and foremost, let's get ourselves this amulet. This one gives us a small chance of receiving a 4-dose potion instead of a 3-dose, which will be coming in handy for sure. Just the unfortunate thing I didn't know about it is that it has a bit of an upkeep, so I'm kind of torn on this one, but we will buy it. We've got the points, we may as well use them. But the pinnacle, I believe, is the potion storage. This one will give me, I don't know, somewhere in the realm of 50 to 100 bank slots. Every single potion in every single increment can now be stored inside of this thing. So if I buy this, I can go into my bank and I should have a little tab in which I can start entering all my potions into. So this interface I've never used before, but I'm going to do a before and after, starting at 969. Nice items in the bank. Let's see where this ends up. And it looks like we're able to chip out a bit over 50 spaces, which is definitely convenient. The only downside to this, potentially, is that, well, apart from the fact I have no idea how to use it, I don't know how to gear up quickly whilst using it. So I might have potions in these areas here. Does that mean I have to use 2 interfaces to get what I need? Perhaps. So it might not be as good as I thought. I still need to play around with it and understand how to use it. And for the time being, I might just use the old way of just putting the key potions. But at least from a bank space perspective, it's definitely a relief, even if I have to take out a couple potions after the fact. Actually, never mind. I accidentally closed my bank interface and now it's just collapsed. So I think I'm committed to the new school style of play. I'll get used to it, it'll be fine, but I think my overall thoughts on this minigame is that it's quite enjoyable. I think you play it for about an hour or two and you're like very bored and impatient, but the longer you play it, the more you realize it's less of like Barbarian and Assault that you want to just get over and done with, and more like Guardians of the Rift, where you can kind of just get into a bit of a groove. Like, I'm still halfway between those 2 points, I think, but I wouldn't be mad to do this more for experience in the future. I'm almost 85 Herblore now, which is ridiculous. I've got a bunch of herbs in the bank, and the unlocks that I just got, I'll combine that with the stored herbs that I have right now, and I might even be able to get to 85 or even beyond. We'll see what happens. I've been doing a lot of limpet root farming as well, so lots and lots of secondaries, and with the botanical pie, I think I'll be able to boost up to anti-venoms, which is sweet. So all in all, a good use of time, I believe. But yeah, I'm not too sure what to do with my additional points, because I definitely think this extra chugging barrel is just not worth it right now. But I'll leave my points sitting as they are, and if I ever feel like I need to unlock it, I will. These Alderium potions I used for the new prayer regeneration, my 6L. These Alderium potions, they're used for the new prayer renewal potions, which are kind of like a crazy prayer pot that just gives you prayer regen over like 8 minutes or something ridiculous. So if I ever try the Infernal, this will be a utilized tool, I believe. And you can also make goading potions, which restores NPC aggression. Interesting concept. I don't know how much utility I'll get out of that. But yeah, from here I think the game plan is get back into Slayer after I've finished processing all these herbs and hopefully get myself an Araxxor task with my newfound anti-venoms. Who thought it would be a good idea that at 99 crafting you're still crushing basic level gems? This is crazy. I'm too lazy to mine more jade, so every single one is precious, man. I can't be losing them like this. The reason why I care about these jades is that the amulet that I just purchased requires charges to actually take effect, and the charges can be restored with amulets of chemistry. I definitely know that off the top of my head, so off to Prif we go to make some of these up. I don't know how much patience I'll have. I'm not really in the mood to be grinding out bracelets or chemistry amulets or whatever the hell. I just kind of want to do the content I want to do, but I do want to have enough charges to make it worthwhile. But I think one final note on mixing Mixology is that the soundtrack is actually really sick. Like, I don't know, it's kind of makes it more tolerable if you're listening to the in-game music. It just gives me like, I don't know, chill vibes, and without those you kind of go insane. If you're trying to do mixology quickly, you're going to get frustrated and burnt out, but if you're able to just chill, listen to the music and just, I don't know, relax, I guess it's okay. Overall, not too bad of an experience, and the XP rates aren't horrible. At post 81, I think I was getting about 75k or a little bit more per hour, so pretty respectable in my opinion. So I finished processing all of these amulets of chemistry. I think I've got like 60 of them, I believe. Let's have a look. 64. It's just dawned on me that I can't waste these. I need to really think about which potions I'm going to use to make the best use out of these, because, as I said, I don't want to consistently just be making these things over and over again. I don't know if it's worth my time. So high priority potions is where I'm going to wear this amulet, and no other use case. Things like that I can make left and right, strength pots, attack pots, stuff like that. I don't think I'm ever going to wear this amulet, but I think super restores, that'll be a key one. Maybe brews, I'm not 100% sure. At the very least, restores, I'm pretty confident that'll be worthwhile using the charges for. I'll have to do some research for the other things, ranging potions potentially, and also prayer pots potentially. I don't know. I don't know what the meta is. I don't know what people generally use. You can drop in the comments if you'd like what you'd like to use it for, but I'm thinking super restores will be the best place to start, and with limited amulets of chemistry, that's probably what I'll do. Maybe stamina pots as well, but again, not 100% sure. I think the way you're supposed to use this is by rebinding your left click to use in the bank, clicking on this, putting in your secondaries, and then grabbing out your normal potions, and then you need one additional secondary. It's a very awkward way to do things, but I can't think of any way to make it less aids than that. It's a little bit of an upgrade. I probably just prefer just doing 14 and 14 instead of doing this all shenanigans, but there is 85 Herblore, and what is that? Zamrock mix and an ancient brew. Fantastic. In other news, I've come across quite a discovery of how much experience I've actually got banked. I've organized it a little bit so I'm not confused. And on top of this, we've got over 1,000 Lanternine potions. What is that? 1,200 Quorms to go. That's what I've been using so far. 1,300 Toad Flax, 1,000 Cadentine, and 400 Irrits. Got myself a bunch of scaly blue dragon hide. I've never had a full inventory of this, so be right back. I want to see if I can just rapid make these, or do I need an inventory space? Whenever you get these as a drop, you kind of just like, I don't know, I really enjoy getting these as a drop, so to have 27 open up straight away, very, very nice. That'll be all the secondaries we need for our Lanterdimes, said that wrong. But yeah, I've got a lot of banked XP now that we've got 85. I won't be surprised if we get even 87 from this. This is a lot of experience I didn't realize I had, and now that I've processed all my secondaries into a usable form, I think I'm good to go. I think I've got a little bit better at using this thing in the bank. It's still a pain in the ass, still a lot of clicks to do, but it's, I don't know, slightly more preferable to the old 14-14. But in any case, there is 87 Herblore. We can now make the anti-venoms. Although, looking at the anti-venoms on the wiki, I'm kind of worried about how, like, little protection they actually offer. I think they only last, like, 50 seconds or something like that. It's all I can really use for now, but we do have a lot of antidotes in the bank thanks to Zora. What are these even called? No, that's right, they'll be in my storage, won't they? Antidotes. I got very nervous for a second there. Let's take all these out, in noted form of course, and we can now put these back into our herb tab and have a look at what we've created. I ended up using the amulet for prayer pots. Have not used them for sorrow brews. I feel like I'll be able to make a lot of these, but yeah, I've used about, I don't know, 1/6 of my charges so far. That is the prayer pot 4 doses that we've got, and I think super restores and prayer pots are the only 2 potions I will continue using these on for now. So with these added to the bank, we now have an additional source of experience. So even though 87 was the goal, I'm going to keep going with Herblore. It's so strange to just be able to train this skill for hours on end. I've been saving up ingredients for ages, didn't think I had a whole lot. Turns out I actually do. So 87 is not the end of the road. Let's go get 88. Despite having quite a few resources left over, I've really had to stretch things thin here. We're doing compost potions out of all things, but all in all, we get to 88. That will definitely be the last level for now. I'm a little bit sick of putting leaves and roots into glass vessels. I think it's time we go hit something pink. Necreals specifically, so maybe get myself some more seeds. Those seeds that I've been acquiring from doing melee Necreals are definitely coming in clutch. The amount of herbs that I've just pumped out because of those alone is insane, so let's continue adding to that. Also, we've made our first stamina potions, and why make your first when you can make your first 1000 all in one shot? But all in all, this is the potion haul for now. Very satisfied with what we've got. This new prayer pot count is very satisfying to see. I don't often come to Lumbridge these days, but I want to top up Death's coffer. I don't know where am I even going right now? Wrong house, apparently. I've never done this before. I feel like you need to drink every time you hear that in this series, but I thought, you know, I might as well drop off some of the items I've been getting from Slayer. I also don't know how to navigate this UI. I thought maybe an Abyssal Whip, maybe a Dark Bow, no, maybe a Granite Maul. They're all like the same price. It is so strange to see the Granite Maul this expensive. I don't want to eat my words, but I'm going to say this is the highest I'm ever going to see it. If this goes over a mil, like it probably will, let's be honest, but like 985k for a Granite Maul, are you serious? I'm going to pop 13 of those bad boys into the coffer, and it looks like the GE value is even higher than that. They're like, what is that? 1,034,000 gold. I don't want to regret doing this, but I also don't want to regret not doing this, so we're going to put 13 Mauls into there. 13 mil cash, sacrificed to the coffer. Hopefully this gamble pays off. I got myself another gargoyles task and I thought, why not? We'll make a deposit while we're here. There we go. I knew it wouldn't take long to get one of them replenished. See if we get another one during the task. We're about halfway through. I reckon we can. 1 in 256. These should not be over a mil each. That's just ridiculous. And there's the number 2. After our lucky gargoyle task, we were fortunate enough to get our Araxxor task. The only thing required to be done before we could get into the cave was to buy some bolt racks. Because we weren't getting high enough percentage on the Barrows chests, I never actually looted many of these from the Barrows grind, so buying them in Port Phasmat is not too difficult. The first Araxxor has been slain. 3 minutes 11. Not the best time, probably my worst time, and I don't think I'll ever have a time longer than that, at least not on this account, but eventually I started to get into a bit of a groove. Combat tasks have begun to fall, and the spider drops have also started to drop. Additionally to that, my forehead has also dropped quite a few times. I learnt the hard way that not having protect from melee punishes you quite hard if you do end up missing those little scree attacks, but the personal bests have started to roll in. I've started to get pretty consistent with my kill count. Even with a zombie axe, I think it's still manageable. But yeah, the worst thing on my to-do list was receive this jar. The Venom jar, one of the rarer drops, has been the first unique to get. There's the first task complete. I'm so sad about that jar, man. It's still fresh off the press. I think that's one of the rarest drops the boss even has. 1 in 1,000, if I'm not wrong. 1 in 1,500. Dare I stand corrected. But I feel like the mechanics, I'm starting to make sense of them. I think my Arania boots are potentially carrying me a little bit. I'm noticing from time to time I'm dodging something that would punish you if not for the boots. So I'm probably getting away with more than I deserve. But anyway, Araxxor seems like a pretty cool boss. The helmet design also looks quite good. So maybe I can end up using the head. Not too sure. The Araxxor head or the Abyssal head. I'm still undecided what I want to use for my Slayer helm, but this is my general setup that I use currently at the moment. Looking to upgrade some things, and I've gone for more DPS, kind of heavy than I was in the past. I was using the Torag's plate body and the Fury just to get some defense bonuses, but I think all in all, DPS is king in there, and the faster you kill that bad boy, the less damage he does to you. So all in all, let's move on and hope we get a Hydra task. Didn't end up getting a Hydra task, but we did get ourselves another Araxxor task, this time with an emphasis on going for some of those combat achievements. A lot of these, if you're not aware of them, you'll just never get them, such as the one where you have to keep it in place the whole time and not allow it to move. An easy 6 points once you're aware of it. So, whilst doing this Necreal's task, I noticed my Bofar was not with me, and I like to bring it on the off chance a Superior spawns. Turns out the first kill back into this experience, a Superior did end up spawning, and I was easily able to safe spot it, which is good. Always nice to remember that for the task, because as you saw before, they can be pretty deadly. There's no way that's the second item I get. This game is unreal. Things didn't really go uphill from there. Managed to get myself dropped a couple of times as well. I'm just getting a little bit greedy. This kill in particular, I had one more kill to go in the task. I wanted to grade it out, and I don't know, dude. If I had better RNG, maybe, but it was pretty hopeless. Alright, Basilisks, I don't like you, and you don't like me, but this time around I have a chance at a Brimstone key. On a side note, got 3 Abyssal Whips that last task I did, as well as 2 Dragon Stones. In all honesty, I think the Dragon Stones are more rare than the Whips, but either way, I was pretty impressed with those drops overall. But it is time to get ahead and get done with these Basilisks. Pray for the jaw. This will be the task that we indeed go over the expected drop rate. We are, never mind, we're already past that. We've already crossed that bridge. It's high time I get over it, I suppose. I was under a false assumption that having a Konar task would make this more likely that I'd get a jaw. We got ourselves a Superior and 4 Brimstone Keys, but no jaw to our name. That is our 600th task complete, an injection of points. They're actually getting a bit out of hand, which is good, 3.2k. I'm still not being careless with them. I'm still undecided which helmet I'm going to imbue my head with, so I think once I hit 99 Slayer, I will make my selection then. That'll have a nice skill cape and a nice helmet to boot. But no jaw. Go figure. Looks like we're sending it back to back. That task was a bit of a dud. I went and cooled off, did a bit of fishing. I've been cooking and fishing in my downtime. We're now up to 94 cooking. I don't really like to do cooking updates because I'm just cooking. It's like, what is that update? But a skill that I deem relevant is Slayer. We are currently 206,000 experience away from 99. And I've just been given an Araxxor task. Or Araxxites to be precise, but that is how we're going to conduct ourselves. This may be the last Araxxor task that I do, so I'm going to split 2 little options here. This video will end when I get 99 Slayer, or it will end when I get a decent drop from Araxxor. So I'm not too sure which way this is going to go, but either way I'll be happy. I pretty much want the Fang, I believe, is the torch upgrade, so fingers crossed that is the drop we get. And before I get ahead of myself, any drop whatsoever, I'd be very much grateful for. We're sitting at around 211 KC, and I still don't have anything to show for it. So I'm going to gear up, get back into the pen, and teach this spider a lesson. Don't want to talk about the Araxxite task. Didn't get anything, but we do have ourselves 92 prayer cooked up and ready to go. Also 123 combats. That's pretty nice. I've been waiting for this combat level for a long time. There is a vampire in Mauritania that always slaps the shit out of me every time I go there, and I think that thing will no longer touch me. So I know it seems like random, like arbitrary sort of like a level up, but to me this means something. I never want to be touched by that stupid vampire ever again. This video was always going to end one of 2 ways, and considering the fact that you're not seeing an Araxxor clip right now probably dictates what you're going to see on the end of this Dark Beast's life. This will be the first time I'll ever get myself a 99 Slayer. I don't know if it'll ever be the last, but there's not many of these achievements that I've never gotten before, so this will feel amazing to get. There it is, the 99 unlocked, the highest possible number. So I think I've got about 4 more of these Dark Beasts to kill. I know I really want to get the cape, but I do want to end this task because coming back here will be a bit of a pain in the butt. But very satisfied with that, and as soon as this task is complete, we'll go and get ourselves a nice new cape. This is going to be a little bit surreal to buy this. The Slayer cape has been something that I've been having as like a distant achievement in the future that I've never really gone hard in the paint towards obtaining. So it's going to feel a little bit strange to actually have it completed. So I guess technically as I speak, it is actually done, and the text on screen is pretty accurate. I have actually always wanted one because it looks quite cool. In fact, I've based my Bofa and my crystal armor kind of preference around this color scheme, and it makes sense that it's on brand, right? I think it fits quite nicely. But with that said, the Slayer skill, it may be level 99, but that's not where it ends. There's still many more unlocks that I need to get, so this is but a small stepping stone in the grand scheme of things. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. That'll do for this video. I shall see you off with an emote for the very first time. 99 Slayer, man. Feels good to get it finished.